Hello biology students. I'm going to do just a quick video tutorial on kind of how to get started with your Create a Creature project. So first of all, I hope this is kind of fun for you. You can make whatever kind of creature you want in whatever kind of habitat you would like. And the kind of the learning targets for this are you're going to learn about those different biomes of the world. And you're going to have to sort of extrapolate and explore a little bit that structure and how it's related to function. And I made a video kind of talking about structure and function, so so make sure you watch that first. But then your actual creature, so you're going to type this up in a Google Doc and turn it into, I'll make a folder in Google Classroom. I haven't done that because you haven't even started yet. So you have a couple of things you can do. So the finished project, you can either be super creative and build a three-dimensional model of your creature using whatever you might have at home, and it can be, again, it's constructed of just about anything. Like you could use styrofoam balls for part of it, and paper mache, or I don't know, wire netting, like I don't know, whatever you have, cardboard, whatever. So you can make a three-dimensional, or you can simply draw it, a two-dimensional drawing on, I would prefer unlined paper if you have that. So you can draw it, which is, I would imagine lots of people will take that option. And then you're going to type up a 1.5 to 2 page paper describing your creature, where it lives, how it may be evolved, and its role in the ecosystem or its niche, right? So that means, like, what does it eat? How does it hunt? Nesting, all of those kinds of things. So first of all, you have to choose what environment your creature is going to live in. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research on this. So it says every organism evolves traits that allow it to survive and reproduce in its particular environment. For example, polar bears have thick fur because bears with thicker fur stayed warm and could survive and reproduce. So it's important to know what environment you want to choose for your organism, because obviously if I want to be in a tropical rainforest, thick fur, probably not an advantage, right? So we don't really see that in tropical rainforest. So you have to do a little bit of exploring of those. And I've included some links at the bottom of this, some websites that you can check out. So I want to know, so first of all, you should, make note of what environment you're going to create your creature to live in, and then design it. So some things that you could think about in designing your organism. So this is fictitious. And I don't want it to be, please don't make it be like, well, it's a white-tailed deer with, I don't know, extra antlers or something like that. Like, try to be a little bit more original than that. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Your creature can have any adaptations or any structures that you want. So this should be kind of interesting. So think about body design and symmetry. Is it symmetrical? Does it have 4 limbs, or does it have more than that? What does it eat? So this, if you answer all of these things, you're easily, when you explain this all to me, this is easily going to take up, 1 page or page and a half just completely by itself. Sensory ability, how does it sense its environment? Can it see? Does it have good eyesight, good hearing? Can it communicate in other ways, maybe pheromones, or who knows? Like, it doesn't even have to be necessarily something real. Like, you could even, be a little bit creative there. Reproduction life cycle. So does it lay eggs? Does it have live birth? Does it have a pouch? How many babies does it have at a time? How long does it mate even? How long is gestation, all of those. Temperature regulation, respiration, metabolism. So for humans, part of temperature regulation is the ability to sweat and the ability to shiver, to warm up our muscles when we're cold. So that's a couple of the mechanisms that we use. your animal might have something else, or maybe your animal's cold-blooded. Digestion, like how does it digest its food? Waste removal, water regulation, you know, how does it get rid of waste? So obviously we get rid of waste at the end of our production, our digestive system, but we also get rid of some things through pores in our skin and so on, and other unique adaptations and behaviors. So you, again, like does your, you know, whatever, does your creature fly? Does your creature, I mean, there's creatures that can spray acid at other creatures like this. You can make your animal do whatever you want, or it could be a plant even, whatever you decide. Actually it says creature, so no plants. This has to be an animal, just kidding. So the first step, and again, this is going to help you write your paper. This is so organized. So adaptation number 1, maybe my structure is a specialized mouthpiece, and the function of that is for, you know, piercing the skin, because maybe my animal is going to be a blood-sucking organism and it's going to pierce the skin. Or maybe the other structure is a special appendage whose function is to spray acid on predators. You decide. Maybe it has wings for flying, or claws for capturing prey, or whatever, or, you know, specialized a prehensile tail, like so that it can hang on to trees and stuff. You decide. If you come up with 5 of these, again, that's a pretty big chunk of your paper. And then you're going to build or draw your creature. If you build a model, or if you draw it, you're just going to take a picture and send it to me that way. So what I need from you, oh, and here are some websites you can check out. I want this on a Google. You have to use at least 2 sources. Please don't completely copy all your information from one place, okay? And then I even go through an outline. So part 1, we're going to talk about the climate and all of that, and the other types of animals that maybe live there, and so on. Part 2, what are those adaptations? Part 3, the other part of the role of the organism's role in the ecosystem, like are there predators, or is it a predator? Like what, you know, all about that. So what I need from you then at the end of this, and you have like several days to work on this, so don't be overwhelmed. And this is, so you're going to send me a Google Doc paper, 1.5 to 2 pages. Make sure you list your sources at the end. And then a picture of your organism. So those 2 things. So I need the paper and then a picture of your creature that you built. Let me know if you need further clarification. I think this is pretty straightforward. Don't panic. We have a whole week. So